Hi everybody, welcome back. My name's Nicholas. Today we are going to talk about ornamental grasses. So this is a perfect time of year when ornamental grasses shine. And I think that they're a really important part of the garden because they have like strappy leaves and it gives some movement in the breeze, and their plumes that come up. I just feel like I don't know. I feel like if a garden doesn't have grasses, I'm sure it's pretty, but I feel like it helps. It lends to like a more diverse looking landscape. So I actually have several that I have purchased recently that we are going to plant. But before we plant them, I would like to go around my garden and just show you a couple that I think are like beautiful. I know the names of most of them, but there's a couple that I don't because they were like transplants from other people's gardens. So let's just go look at those real quick, and then we can talk about the ones that I got. And I'm very excited about all of them, but there's one in particular that's like gets huge, and I'm like very excited about that one. I would actually like to start with a failure of a grass, and it's not the grass's fault, it's my fault. Grasses want like a lot of sun, at least in my garden. That's been my experience. Like the more sun, the better. And it was, I think last fall, I bought these lemon squeeze pennisetums that are beautiful. And I put them next to the greenhouse thinking that they were going to get sun. And maybe they would have had I not like put a big huge trellis next to it with a bunch of foliage on it. So I'll show you that. I think that I could still move them. I haven't looked at them in a while, but I think that they could still be transplanted and moved, and then they should do fine next year. But I just thought I would show you the real, like my real life garden, because there's failures everywhere. Look, we can't even get back there. I'm kidding, we can. We have to go around the backside, but the grasses are hidden back there somewhere. Oh, it looks like they're actually not like a total failure, but they definitely are not doing what they're intended to do. Okay, here we are. Yeah, you know what? You can't win them all, and sometimes you get some stuff wrong. But there is one right here, and as you can see, there are two little plumes and very little grass, just because they don't get enough sun. The one over here actually does get more sun than that one, so it doesn't look as pitiful, but it's still pretty pitiful. So I'm actually, I don't think today, but I'm actually going to move these so that I can start seeing the beauty of them. Because the lemon squeeze pennisetum actually is, I would say, one of my favorites, because it has like a very lime green, or some say chartreuse, but for some reason that word actually gets on my nerves, and I'm not sure why. But like a lime green leaf, and then their puffy plumes, they are like brown, and the contrast between the two of it, or the two colors, is very pretty. On to the next one. The next one I would like to talk about was actually a gift or a transplant from a friend. This is the northern sea oats grass. And I mean, how could you not like that? It's absolutely gorgeous. And I actually have 3 little clumps of it, and hopefully it just takes over this bed. Hopefully. But I can't wait till these dry down, because I plan on using these in fall arrangements, because they don't stay green, they turn like a brown color. This next one is really good for like having a different color in the blades, because this is the Cheyenne Sky. This is a Proven Winners brand, and not only does it have cool little like seed heads that are like a mauvey reddish, but there's also leaves that are the same color as well. So it's really interesting, and it's one I think I have maybe 3 of them, not in this location. This is just one, but I really like it. This one does flop a little bit if it rains. So what you can do, a trick to, if your grass is completely flopped on the ground, if you take a string and go right around the base and tighten it, like cinch it, and then just pull it up a little bit, then it will, initially you'll see that tie around the bottom, but it'll all still fall a little bit over time and then hide that. So it's a good way to resurrect your grass. This is the next one. This is one that I don't know the like actual variety, just because it was a transplant from a neighbor, but this is like a zebra grass, and it's very vigorous and it's quite tall. I would say it's about 6 feet tall right now, but it's thriving and doing lovely. But these, like, it's like sharp blades, and you can get paper cuts. Like, I cut my finger the other day on it, and I was like, how rude. This next one is a stunner. It has, okay, so this is the Niagara Falls Panicum, and it has a silvery blue foliage, and then it has like just the most amazing plumes on the top. It just looks like a big cloud. These ones right here are actually Cheyenne skies as well, but I just wanted to show you that I planted 2 right here because I wanted to mask the hose reel. As they, when, like years go by, or maybe another year or so, they'll get bigger and more full. So that's a good way to hide things, but you can still get to it because the grasses just move right out of the way. I have many other grasses in my garden, but I just don't know the names of them, and I don't know that there's a point showing you them if I can't tell you what they are for you to repeat them. So I'm going to show you what we're going to be planting today, and there's 3 of them, and they're beautiful. I'm very excited about all 3 of them, and I know the names of all 3 because they have tags. I love grasses so much. They're so pretty. This first one I want to show you actually might ring a bell because we actually just planted 2 of these in containers. This is the Desert Plains Pennisetum from Proven Winners, and it gets 18 inches tall, 36 to 48 inches wide, so pretty short and wide, and it's a zone 5 through 9. But it has really pretty coloring in the leaves, kind of like similar, I guess, to the Cheyenne Sky, but I think the Cheyenne Sky has more coloring. But these smoky plumes on the top are very pretty. They're like brown with a little bit of pink, like burgundy. They're very, very pretty. And these are the containers that I put them in. They've bulked up and shot out a bunch of fresh new grass blades that are like very chartreuse. It's a very pretty grass. This is the other one on the other side of the path, looking beautiful. And this one, you can see, I've been watching how they, like the little plumes come out, and they kind of like unfurl out of the blade of grass. The next one I'd like to show you is this beautiful beautiful plant. Well, grass. I love these seed heads. They're so cool. This one is the red flame switchgrass, and it wants full sun, obviously. And it's a zone 4, and it gets 36 to 42 inches tall and 24 inches wide. So it's a pretty substantial size grass, but not like mammoth like the next one I'm going to show you. But I mean, I love grasses because when the wind's blowing, it's just such a pretty thing to see. This is the next one I want to show you. This heavily variegated grass. And it looks just like a normal old grass right now, but wait. This is the variegated Japanese silver maiden grass, and it gets 6 feet tall, 3 feet wide, and it is a zone 4, hardy down to zone 4. Can you just imagine a 6 foot tall, 3 foot wide grass? And this is very bright compared to the other ones. So can you imagine how much it stands out with that light color? And we can't see them yet because they haven't done them yet, but I'm very excited about the plumes. Maybe I should look up what they're called. That's what I call them, but I don't know what their actual name is. But at the very end of the season, they'll send up these plumes, and they're really, really pretty. And I think more than any other plume, I would use them in like arrangements for fall, because they're not like pampas grass like, but they're still very cool and like feathery. So I'm incredibly excited for this one to grow. So now the hard part, and well, it's not hard, but I need to find places for all of these now. So let's walk around and find places. I have a large garden, it's like under 1.5 acres. So it's not like massive, but there's still plenty of grassy areas that can be switched over. But that's the spot that I'm at now. Anything that gets really big, I have to think about starting a new flower bed, or because, I mean, where am I going to put this in one of my flower beds where it doesn't just overtake something else completely? So I actually think it's going to look a little bit weird for today, but you'll have to like just think about the future. But because I have it scheduled on my calendar, we'll say, in the next 2 weeks, I'm going to start the long border where I take up the sod. So today I think what I'm going to do is put the tallest grass, the Japanese silver maiden, right here, because then it would get like 3 feet wide. It'll fill up this area, and then the black lace elderberry will be stepped forward a little bit, and then I could put, you know, something smaller over like time. But right now, what I'm not going to do is take out all of this sod, because there's just no reason to, since I'm going to get the sod cutter. What I'm actually going to do is just dig a hole and plant it, and then put a little bit of mulch around it, and then I'll figure out what I'm going to do later on with the sod cutter. So that's the first one. We will circle back and look at everything that I've planted more closely once I'm done planting everything. But I think I'm actually going to do something similar with the other tall one that I have in the hedge that I'm creating in the back of the house where we're at now. So let's try to find a perfect spot for this next one. This one doesn't get as big, but it's 24 inches wide. That's not bad. We'll also be cutting all of the sod out of this area all the way down almost to the greenhouse. So I was thinking, because I have that tall zebra grass on the end down there, that another grass, well, I have this low one right here, but I was thinking maybe we could just put it back here. This pussy willow is going to get quite large, I believe. I think 15 feet wide, so 7.5 from center. So maybe if I put it, well, yeah, I'll probably bump it forward from the line. Let me show you. So right now everything is in a straight line, but that's not how it will be. I'll have, let's say, another plant offset right here in the middle to block the hole there. So maybe we could just do it right here in between these two hydrangeas, because I won't want it directly in the middle, but I will want it maybe right here. I think that would be fine. Let's do that. I hope I'm explaining this whole living hedge to you guys in a way that that you can visually see it. I feel like I did the same thing in the secret garden before I even did anything back there. I was trying to explain how I wanted it. And I mean, I feel like now, obviously, everyone can see my vision because it's completed. So hopefully you guys can picture it, but if you can't, that's okay, because like I said, I'm going to start working on this, and I think you'll start to see the vision at least this year, and then next year, oh, just you wait. It's going to be beautiful. The next one is the Desert Plains Pennisetum, and I think I want it to go right here. Hold on, I gotta show you guys a couple things. Let me see if I can. It's not gonna show up. I know it won't because it never does, but this Caryopteris is alive with pollinators. Like a ton of honeybees. There's a bumblebee. I mean, they're absolutely everywhere. And there's one more thing I'd like to show you. I'm gonna zoom in on it just because check out that spider. I believe it's an orb weaver, I think, and it seems to be eating an insect of some kind. So I believe, off the top of my head, they're really good for your garden, but what do I know? I'm not a bug specialist. What are those called? Entomologist? If I'm wrong, then I'm very wrong. But for some reason, that's like the word in my head. But anyway, I think that the grass would look fine right here. It's the first thing that we're putting in like the next row, but so it'll kind of look a little alone right now, but it'll look good once we do stuff to this bed. We're done for today, and it feels good. We have had a little heat up, so it's kind of starting to feel like summer again. That's a lie. This summer, you wouldn't even be able to like get a reprieve in the shade, and you can right now. So, but anyway, let's go and look at all of the ones that we planted from beginning to end, and I'd be interested to know what your guys' favorite is. Here's the first one, and I already like it a lot because the black lace elderberry right here has like really dark foliage, and then the butterfly bush behind the grass has like a blue foliage with obviously a pink bloom. Wow, the butterflies are going crazy on this stuff. I mean, I guess it is called a butterfly bush. Wow. Anyway, I like it because it's bright and it's not going to get lost. I think it's going to stand out, like really stand out right here. And especially if it gets 6 feet tall and 3 feet wide. I mean, 6 feet tall, that's almost as tall as I am. Yeah, almost as tall as me. And here's the next one in between these two hydrangeas. The one on the right is supposed to be a Pinky Winky, but I think it's a mutant cross between a Pinky Winky and something else. And then we have the grass, beautiful, beautiful grass. And then we have this gorgeous vanilla strawberry hydrangea. And I kind of like that they all have like reds and pinks in them. I think it's pretty cool. And this one will get decently tall. In the end, it will be shorter than the hydrangeas, but I think it will look great, especially when it's all one flower bed. And here's the final one, the Desert Plains Pennisetum. Kind of all by its lonesome, but it'll look really good in the next however long it takes me to put stuff in this bed. Well, I am happy with all of them. I'm happy with where they were placed, and I'm happy with them just in general. I like the way that they look, and I hope you guys like them too. I mean, you don't have to like the grasses, but I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you like grasses, ornamental grasses, because if you don't, I feel like that's kind of a shame, just because I just feel like they give so much to the garden visually. And maybe if you didn't like them and you like them now after my video, then it's like I've done something with my life. Anyway, I like I said, I like all of them, but I think my favorite is the variegated Japanese silver maiden grass, because probably one, just the sheer size of it. I mean, 6 feet tall is quite large. And then I'll be really excited once it gets the plumes, because I'll be able to use them in decorations. And I'm thinking like years down the line when it's massive and it has like a bunch of those plumes that I can cut off, I could do like a wreath or something with them. So I'm just very excited. But I just wanted to say thank you guys for watching, and I will see you very soon. Keep learning and keep growing.